the little fly-in that I did with my new Chrissy present, may have given the game away, but the boat's pretty much closed up and will be for a little while, 3 months or so, hopefully not much longer. I've got to go and do another job, which will take me away from here, but it's unfortunate because things are going pretty well, but needs must. So I thought I'd take a chance just to do a little bit of a walk around and show you where things are at. I've got electrics all hooked up. Cabin is largely done. I've got a few bits and pieces to do. I had hoped the upholstery would have turned up this week, so I had all that done, and I put it back in the house in storage while I'm away anyway, just so it doesn't go mouldy. But the other bits and pieces, I've got a big job here. I've got to do trim around the side here, which will be a bit of a grub rail as well, but that'll dress all this up. So I need to mill the hue and pine for that. I haven't done that yet. I'm just looking at what hue and pine I've got to make sure I can get a couple of nice long runs to do that. I've got bits of trim to do underneath the nav station and a couple of little lockers to do still, but I'll show you around and you'll get a bit of a chance to see what I'm talking about, hopefully, if I can make this thing work. I'll look at the phone while I'm going because I've got a gimbal on the camera here, which makes it a bit of an awkward one to view. So in the nav station, you can see that everything's lit up. I've got shore power attached. I haven't got my start battery, but a house battery, lithium house batteries in there. I'll disconnect that while I'm away, but I just lit this up so I can have some light down here and show you what's going on. So that's my nav station area. I've got trim to do up underneath to finish off. I want that to look a bit nice, but I'll wait till I've done all of the edge trimming first. Those panels come out, so it's got to be a fairly close fit, but that'll look a whole lot nicer when it's done. There's one little nav table there, there's a little locker space underneath, storage under there, and electronics in behind there. That's my inverter charger. Little locker here as well with three-way valve switch for the toilet macerator. The three-way valve in there is an overboard discharge. In behind here is a holding tank and another three-way valve and pump for overboard shoreside discharge. And I've got to make up some latches for those. So where I've got tape is where latches have got to go yet. I just haven't decided which ones I'm going to put in. Toilet under here, underneath the nav station seat. Over on the galley side, again I've got trim to do underneath. I've made these to come out, so behind the plate and cup rack is the water tank and water pump, so I want to be able to get access in there. A little bit of storage up top there. Oh, I didn't show over the other side here, above the nav station there. So I've got the switch panel down to the left, battery monitor beside the switch panel, VHF radio, then the anchor windlass solenoid, and up top here I've got the handheld radio and space there where I'll have a iPad stand, so the iPad will be a repeater for the Vulcan 7 GPS chart plot and so on outside. And over on the port side here, so I've got the little cooker underneath here, little single burner cooker, which is all I need. A little sink. I've still got to come up with a tap for that yet, which I haven't settled on, but that will just go, it'll get mounted back here. I'm trying to avoid taking up too much space. I'm looking for a nice little low profile cold water tap only. I'm not going to have any hot water on here. A couple of lockers behind there. Down on the in forward of the galley, there's a little shelf here, which I'll have an angle fridge on, a little angle 12 volt 240 volt fridge, a camping fridge, which will I can take out if I need to, but they're great little units, the angle fridges. A bit of a long storage locker behind there that goes all the way back for long stuff. Then down on the stubs on the port side here, I've got about a 6'2" berth with leg room that goes back in under the angle space, and a little locker underneath there. It's a shame I didn't get my upholstery. I would have liked to have got the full effect of how the cabin's going to look. Up forward, a little bit of couple of cubby holes for books and things. Up in the V-berth, up forward of the V-berth is the anchor locker. There'll be another little locker underneath there which we closed in yet, I just haven't done that, but that bottom space is just a little storage locker for personal knickknacks. I've got another locker to put up onto the right hand side there, the starboard side, to hide all that cabling for the windlass and solenoid, so that's to be built. I just hadn't really decided how I was going to do that. Down on the, I've been saying starboard, so down, because I'm facing the wrong way, down on the starboard side now, so my mast wiring will come down and will get hidden behind that panel that comes out there, and then along on the starboard side it's 2 seatings and a little shorty berth. This berth's only good for a kid maybe, and mostly that will be in the up position, and that's a table that will fold down, and that will probably 90% of the time that'll be a table and 2 nice comfortable seats either side. At the moment the table top is off at the upholsterers, so that they're upholstering the underside of it so that when it's actually is up out of the way being used as a berth, it matches the seat backs as an upholstery. And that's about it down here. That's the rough shape of the portholes. I've got 3 of them. I've got one I've got to get cast up, and I haven't been to the casters, but I haven't dropped off a porthole yet for them to cast a matching one. I've had to clean it up quite a bit to get that done, so that's a future job when I come back. I think that's it about down underneath here. Just I don't know if this is worth showing, but just under the that's right, I'm just getting my phone sorted so I can see what I'm looking at here. Under the companionway here, I've got another little locker, which is just there's a shelf there. You can see it, a bit hard to see. And then there's a flip-up locker that has a lot of my cabling. No, I don't think that's going to come up, it's too dark. Has a lot of my wiring, and NMEA 2000 junctions and so on. So yeah, that's it. I'll just go back and try and give you a bit of a better look from up forward. So there's the full effect looking aft. Yeah, I'm thinking it's looking pretty nice actually. I'm pretty happy. And then outside, there's not much else I've done outside here. I've started really on the hatches. I've got 4 hatches to do. So there's the lazarette hatch. You can't see much there. That's all. I've taped that up to keep the mud wasps and so on out. This is my nemesis during the summer here, mud wasps and humidity. So, and then looking forward, so I've got a bit of work still to do on the main companionway hatch. I've got bits of cardboard and stuff sitting around so I don't bash my varnish. So I've got main companionway, butterfly hatch in the middle, and foredeck hatch to make, and then it's just deck fittings up top here, and then I've got to fair and paint is my last big job, I guess. I don't know how much of that I'll do here and how much I might do down the marina. So that's about it. There's not a lot more to show. I'll be away for about 3 months. I'm working away. I'll be back and forth every few weeks, but I've got family here keeping an eye on everything, but at the moment I'm just trying to button the boat up, put mesh over all the hatches to keep mud wasps out. So summer here in Australia, mud wasps and humidity are my nemesis. So that's all I'm really doing now. It's coming into the really rainy period here, so there will be a lot of humidity about, so hopefully I'm not going to come back to a humid, mouldy looking interior. It should be right. It's I've kept the boat's pretty clean, and yeah, we'll see. I'm a bit sorry that I'm not going to be able to finish it off as quickly as I'd like. It's already taken too long, but yeah, needs must. I need to go away and do a bit of work.